Hi there, Rory Neary from Data Spinners and those Dynamics guys. Today I'm going to talk to you about icons, those strange things that I don't know if you guys use, but they do come in handy from time to time. So I'm just going to jump straight into an app that I've just inserted a few icons into, just so I can illustrate their different properties. So I guess the first thing to do is to say that you just go to the Insert tab, you hit the icons, and then you go and select the icon that you want. Maybe I guess a back button is actually quite a handy one, so you'd sort of have to go scrolling all the way down, and no doubt you'll go past it like I do from time to time. So there's a back one there. It doesn't actually do back, it does nothing at all unless you tell it to do it. So that's where the on select property comes in, so you'd pop in there, and then on select you do back. Obviously it's not going to do anything in this case because I've got a one screen app. But that's what you can do with it. And obviously onSelect works for so many of the objects, so that's not special in itself. I guess what makes it a little bit more special is the way you can scale it out. This one's a bit interesting because it only stays as a circle whatever way you do it, whereas something like one of these, the star, does actually scale in kind of slightly strange way. You can obviously colour them, so if you want this to be a different colour, you just pop in there, you put in colour, and the colour is actually, I guess you've got to imagine that the image as writing. So let's say we said orange, that's what'll happen. Now if you go to fill on this, what you'll see, and we'll just kind of go fill and we'll just pop in black, then it's actually the entire fill of that object, whereas the fill on here is actually quite a bit different. So if you look on the fill here and you said that you wanted it to be black, then you would literally end up with black in the middle. Now that kind of can be handy. So if I just sort of show you, it's these shapes that you have towards the bottom, whether they're octagons or whatever they might be, these lot behave a bit differently. So they behave a bit like the star did, so like the border. And what happens on the board, it doesn't matter what colour you give it, none of them actually have any thickness to start with. So you end up having to go over to the properties, give it a border thickness of, let's say, 4, and then it'll actually do something. So that's kind of nice. The sort of thing that you might do, particularly with something like a star, is that you might sort of connect the colours to timers and things like that. And if you wanted to get things flashing, this doesn't really have a sort of business context to it, but it does is mildly amusing. So you'd kind of do insert, you'd type pop a little timer in. Where's the timer? Timer. Of course I can't see anything. There it is. Pop a timer in. Duration, let's say it is 1000, which is 1 second, and then we can give it a repeat, and then we can do on timer end. We could do set GV. Let's just say set GV color to be the opposite of GV color. So what we're going to do is we're going to end up with effectively a true false statement coming up. So what that's going to, I'm kind of diverging somewhat here, but it will come good in the end. So what we're going to have there is we're going to have GV color going to go in there, and so what will happen is that we'll see that this should oscillate between true and false. Yeah, true, false, true, false. Now what we can do with that is we can then attach this to the fill properties. So we can do if GV color equals false, well then we'll say black, otherwise do green. That's a slightly bizarre sort of way of getting some to flash. So it's going to go between green and black. Not very well well-known colours for that sort of thing going on. But anyway, so what you do is you pop on the timer and look, flashes different colours, which I think is quite neat. You know, not for everyone, but I think that's quite cool. And you wouldn't be able, and you could actually do the same thing. You could actually do the same thing on the colour property. Hello, hold on, colour. No. Where is it? Yeah, it is the colour property. Thought I was going mad there. Oh, it's the border colour. Border colour is and what we can do on that is we can kind of go green, then black. What we should see on this is that they end up the colours flip round each time round. How bizarre! It's actually quite good. I quite like that. Might use that. You may see this coming up in an app coming to you very soon. So that was, I guess, I've talked about the fill, color on select, a little just touch. I mean, all of these objects have a tab index, and what that means is that as you tab through it, if it's -1, tabbing is completely irrelevant. But if you set this one to, for example, 1, and this 1, 2, 2, then what that will do is it will tab between them, but actually you probably won't even notice it happening. Yeah, you can't even notice it happening. So that's, oh, there you are. Yeah, you just noticed it tabbing between those two items there. So I think that's when you get into sort of enterprise grade apps where you're really looking for high performance in terms of how people get through them. But in reality, what you find most of the time is people just click wherever they need to on the screen. So, and then I thought I'd just give you a sort of view of using icons in practice. So I've got this is my Infinity War app, and you can see that I've got a sort of a settings type icon here, and in here I can set a language, and you don't need to see that. And there's another icon here which is my back button. So there it goes, and it goes back. So yeah, hope that's useful to you, and see you again soon. Bye. Oh, make sure you like and share and all those sort of subscribe, all those sort of things. Thanks guys, bye.